to the IPv6 session. It's always one of the hottest topics on the bigger RIPE meetings as well as on those regional meetings. And as you know, we are very busy in the industry developing support and solutions for the IP, the new generation IPv6. And we are also busy with developing of various IPv4 to IPv6 transition mechanisms. We have for this session 3 talks, interesting talks, and the first one will be from the chair of the program committee, now wearing the hat of Internet Society, Žorž. He will present you everything about IPv6 troubleshooting for Helpdesks and great work he did to help all of you guys to troubleshoot IPv6 issues in the network. So Jan, the mic is yours.
Now you can hear me, okay. Hello, I'm Jan. This time with a different hat. From the Internet Society. First about me, for those who don't know me, I come from Slovenia. I'm the founder of Go6 Institute that pushed the IPv6 in the country and wider. Yeah, I come from the engineering world. I was an operator for more than 20 years. And I'm an active and contributing member of RIPE and IETF community. I have my RFCs written. I wrote some policy documents for the RIPE and some BCPs and so on, and I joined the Internet Society in December 2012. But enough about me. I need to do the walls of text warning. Since I'm presenting here the document with the actual content, I had long contemplations how to present the content without the walls of text. I know that it's not a very good way to put the presentation together with the walls of text behind, but it is what it is, and please, I apologize for any inconvenience, but bear with me anyway. Secondly, the misconceptions and the reality. We have been working on this document for a year and a half, and lots of people said, oh, that's that ISOC document. It's not an ISOC document. This document is a community document, and the co-authors of this document are brilliant experts, IPv6 experts from the community. You will see the list later. I would like to thank ISOC for dedicating some of my working time to run this project and to edit the document and use my time to put it through the consensus process at RIPE. So, who here knows about RIPE 554 document? That's basically the IPv6 requirements for ICT equipment. Show of hands. And who is using it? Okay. Very quickly, this was the first speed bump in IPv6 deployment. It basically is a template for procurement people when they are buying the equipment, when they are putting together a tender. You put in the requirements for IPv6, and if the vendor that is offering the equipment does not support all the IPv6 requirements, then you just don't buy the equipment. That document became RIPE 554. It got the consensus, and that was the first speed bump removed for IPv6 deployment. Then I went around the world, spoke with many operators, and I asked them, what is your next problem with IPv6 that you cannot deliver it and deploy it to your residential customers? And they said, yeah, we deployed IPv6 in the core, we deployed IPv6 everywhere in our services, but we are not rolling it out to our end customers because we are fearing the fact that our help desk will just burn down in flame if we do this. because people will start calling and having problems with IPv6. And I said, okay. So this is more of mental bump in people's head, but we need to remove it, right? So people can continue, keep calm and continue deploying IPv6. That was not a wise move. So, okay, everybody knows helpdesks, right? They can be a bit difficult sometimes, especially if we call them with a question that they don't know what you're talking about and they don't have an answer to this question. So we put together a group of people. As you can see here, the list of names is quite extensive. We have people from Time Warner Cable, Comcast, and some other big operators that actually deployed IPv6 already. These are operators with millions and millions of users on IPv6. So they know what they're talking about. Okay, let's ask some questions. Or maybe facts. So we need to build a short and simple set of the text explain action scenarios that would actually help people to identify and fix the issue. If somebody calls to your help desk, you need to figure out somehow what is wrong. Number two, we need a simple online tool to detect the state of the connectivity on the other end. Because you just can't ask a person on the phone all these technical questions about IPv6. Who of you know the test-ipv6.com? Okay, the usual suspects. So test-ipv6.com is a very, very useful tool. Very useful tool. It is built by Jason Fessler from Yahoo, and it tests your IPv6 connectivity, but the output of this tool, it's somehow too long for the user to read it over the helpdesk guy. So I actually had a long discussion with Jason Fessler, and he's not drinking beer, so I had to use rum Coke to persuade him into this. And we created a special version of testv6.com that is meant specifically for ISP helpdesks. And I tested it here. And the most important part of this tool is this helpdesk code. See? This is a helpdesk code. The person on the other end just needs to read the helpdesk code to the helpdesk person on this side. There is also additional information and the other side, so all the sites were reachable, so everything is cool. In this case, the helpdesk code was 4.6. That means dual stack, everything is fine, everything is working. From this tool, then on the other end, the helpdesk person that is sitting in the call center have this document that we put together. That is, and this is the table of content. And the important stuff starts at number 5. And it's how to troubleshoot the IPv6. So it's like, what are basic IPv6 tests, then test the connectivity, test DNS, check home router, and then escalate. The most important part of this document is to find the point where you escalate. Because first level helpdesk will probably not go into troubleshooting the MTU issues in your core network, right? So we needed to find a sweet spot where to put the escalation mark on it. And then number 6, you see the explanation of helpdesk codes. And there are some scenarios that are the most common, are described and also shows the code. 112 is the most hard one to troubleshoot, because that means IPv4 that is working and broken IPv6. And in this case, you have IPv6 address on the end computer, but somewhere the connectivity is broken on the way. This one is really, really hard to troubleshoot. But we put together the procedure. The other ones are IPv4 only, IPv4 plus Teredo, IPv4 plus IPv6, dual stack, possible tunnel. If you have tunnel, it detects the tunnel. Then we have 624, NAT 64. Then we have NAT 64 with possible tunnel, and also 2 additional like markings that says slow. If the connectivity is very slow, then it will write like code and slow. And the MTU. We are also testing the MTU issues in the network. So if there are any MTU issues, it will just put the mark MTU. So if somebody says the helpdesk code like 46 MTU, then you know that you have MTU issues in your network, and that's probably not the job from the helpdesk to troubleshoot, but to escalate to the technical department and say, hey, you guys have an MTU issues in your network. That would be a knife in their heart, probably. This is an example of the possible generic situation. So for this one, is, for example, 6 to 4. It means what it means, 6 to 4, right? And here, this is the copy paste from the document, and it's an interpretation. It's a very short interpretation. What is this? What does this mean? And then we have action. So have the user disable automatic tunneling, and so on and so on and so on. And we have also some instructions for different operating systems how to do it, actually. And here is also the action continued. So if IPv6 is desired, configure IPv6, and so on and so forth. You can go into the document and read it by yourself. 112 IPv4 plus broken IPv6. This is very long. This also contains some charts and tables with the IPv6 addresses that probably should not appear on the end host computer, and you can check if any of those addresses resides there and should not be there. But this is quite a hard one to troubleshoot. And again, it's the interpretation, what actually happened, what is going on. Then there's some assumption, and then it's action. Do this, do this, do this, do this. There is basically a procedure. So the intention of this work was to remove the next mental speed bump of not deploying IPv6, and the technical people can now print the document out, add the specifics that they have, hand it over to the helpdesk manager, and check and say, okay, we informed the helpdesk what's going on. This is all you need to know about IPv6. We did our job, and we can happily continue with IPv6 deployment in our network. What's the status and the future work? The document is now an official RIPE BCOP document. It got the number RIPE 631. It was done in the BCOP task force and subsequently in the RIPE IPv6 working group. We got the consensus from both communities, well, from community at large, that this document is accurate and neutral and makes sense, and it is useful and helpful. So it is free, it's yours. There you have the link if you want to download it. So how many of you already deployed IPv6 in your network? Operators. Okay. And how many of you are at the point when you need the helpdesk stuff? Okay. So this document was meantime implemented in many helpdesks. We are receiving quite the good feedback on the usability of it. They basically say there is no need to change. You just print it out and put it to the helpdesk, and they just start using it. And actually, what some helpdesks started to do is start using this tool and this document to troubleshoot all possible issues with network connectivity, because it also detects the IPv4 issues, right? So this basically became a sort of a standard generic tool for helpdesks to check and fix this stuff. What else? This is the picture from the screenshot from the RIPE website. Now RIPE NCC has the new website and it's different. So this is a snapshot from the past. And this is basically it. I was very quick. Are there any questions, suggestions? Please go. Here is the, you just put RIPE 631 in the Google and you will get the link. Read it, use it. If you see any mistakes in it or have any suggestions how to improve it, please send. There is the email, IPv6 Troubleshooting at go6.si. This is the alias that all the authors get the email. We are very open for the suggestions, as this is a community bottom-up process done with the document, and we will be very, very, very happy to hear your comments or maybe your that you implemented it and how you are using it, and some feedback from the field. Okay. Are there any questions, suggestions? Please, come on.
Okay. Thanks, Jan. Any questions? No.